Hello, this is Jason Christensen, and the only conservative Republican seeking to become your next governor of this great state of Utah. The, the only, the first conservative governor of the state of Utah. This video is about the corrupt Inland Port Authority and the Chinese Communist Party infiltration of this government of our state, and the traitorous acts that certain individuals have done either knowingly or unknowingly within the state. Some of them running for governor against me. I got done reading this many pages of legislation between 2018 and 2019, a total of about 200 pages of legislation. And so, am I an expert? No, but I do know what's going on because I actually read the bill. Here in Utah, there is chartered cities. There's only one, and there are political subdivisions, cities, counties, any other entity, no political subdivisions of the state. This piece of the legislation, when they passed it, not only amended the state constitution to create such a monstrosity without a vote of the people, but it also created a political subdivision which has the same power and authority to use the abusive term called eminent domain, and to, in the legislation itself, they also gave this political subdivision the Utah Inland Port power to do whatever they want. Basically, they are next to the state. They are the main. Everything has to go through them. In the original legislation, 2018, they carved out of Salt Lake County and Salt Lake City, and no, they don't. Neither one has the legal arm to stand on because both are corporations of the state legislature, political subdivisions of the state legislature. They carved out of Salt Lake County and part of Salt Lake City this 16,000 acres. In the 2019 legislation, they gave this Port Authority power to go anywhere in the state of Utah to utilize eminent domain and seize land, based upon what they feel is needed, without giving the people or whoever they steal the land from only 10 days to appeal before their board. That's not justice. And wherever they have a project within Utah, they get 100% of the differential property tax revenue. So meaning the city and county utilizes the property taxes, and if they have any left over, then the Inland Port gets 100% of that money. So all the school bonds the last 2 years was for the Utah Inland Port Authority. The bonding mechanism from the school bonds is attached to the bonding mechanism of the Utah Inland Port, which, according to the legislation, which is now amended to the state constitution, cannot be repealed while there is a bond. The two other revenue sources are the 50% of the usage tax or the gas tax, as well as the sales tax itself. Hence, the tax hike they tried to do in December before they decided to repeal it before they decided to repeal it after we, the people, gained all the signatures required to stick it on the ballot, to not just reject that tax hike, but to reject all of them, though there any further employment in our government. Very nefarious works, if you ask me. And to top it all off, they keep raising gas tax and they keep raising sales tax before that even. Why? Because to fund the Inland Port Authority. It's a taxpayer boondoggle, of which most of the people have not even read the legislation, don't even know what's in it. The Inland Port Authority is a law unto itself, like cities in the corporate cities and corporate counties within all of Utah. The Inland Port Authority also has a elected body for government, except for it's not elected. It's appointed by the governor, appointed by the legislature, appointed by the Salt Lake City and Salt Lake County. But yet the rest of the counties in Utah don't have a say regarding the operations of this Inland Port Authority that has power to go to do development anywhere in the state of Utah. And now you have legislators that want to do, a multi-billion-dollar railway system going down to southern Utah. That would be UDOT, which works with the Inland Port Authority and UTA. And not just southern Utah, but southern Utah for mining, which in the Inland Port Authority has lots of verbiage regarding mining. Right after they passed this Inland Port Authority, most of the swamp critters, the Utah swamp critters, paid for either travel or gifts to mainland China as Utah delegation meetings, such as Kurt Bramble, who voted for it. In his campaign financial disclosure, it actually says delegational trip to China. Or Francis Gibson, thousands of dollars. One of the sponsor of the Inland Port. Once again, trips to China. What are they talking about? The Senate sponsor, not just thousands upon thousands of dollars for travel. I'm sure some of it was to China, but every single travel expense is hidden within his American Express charge that he listed in the financial disclosure. Same thing with Senate President Adams. Thousands upon thousands. Delegational meeting to China. Spencer Cox praised on the fact that he went to England for trade delegational meeting, but yet according to the U.S. Constitution, only the federal government can do international trade treaties, not the states. Governor Herbert, same thing. So why are these people spending so much dollars for international trade treaties with China, violating the U.S. Constitution, creating this taxpayer boondoggle that's a law unto itself? Violating the people's liberty and property rights. The Constitution is supposed to protect life, liberty, property. Why are they violating these principles? Why are they violating the Constitution? Why are they doing the delegational meetings to China? I'll tell you why. And like Mike Pompeo has said, the U.S. Secretary of State, the CCP's espionage, infiltration of our government. They've all, the entire Utah swamp, most of the elected officials have sold us up a creek without a paddle to the murderous, lying Chinese Communist Party, who knows nothing of the free market. Like I posted on the website, Mike Pompeo gave a speech to the National Association of Governors, talking about the Chinese infiltration into our government, as well as this 100+ page investigation report by the U.S. Senate in 2019 regarding the same threat. Regarding the CCP's 1,000 Talent program. In this 1,000 Talent program, it talks about mining, using resources, building up industrialized cities using the military arm of their government, much like Shenzhen in mainland China, and other cities in China, as well as Africa and Australia. Much like they attempting to do or tried to do in Idaho, just south of Boise, 50 acres. In fact, the governor said that it was a great day for beachheads in the state. Beachhead is a military term where you move your military out. In fact, if you remember, in 2011, Governor Herbert had a meeting of all the U.S. governors with the UGA, the United States Governors Association, in Salt Lake City in 2011, along with key CCC governors and the CCP media, China Daily, and etc. But yet, the only American press that tried to attend that meeting was the New American Magazine, which is known for being against communism. So why did they have the press credentials revoked? What did they talk about in this meeting? And that's not the beginning. Governor Herbert has been going back and forth to meet with the CCP since 2008, which is about the same time period when Huntsman actually got his job as U.S. ambassador, who's also running for governor too, coincidentally. So that's 1, 2, 3 candidates for governor. That's in bed with the CCP, and here I am, the only one speaking against this. But anyway, Huntsman, while our ambassador in China under the Obama administration, took part in helping the CCP gain EB-5 visas to come here for school or for work or for science, whatever it may be. And EB-5 visas are only for those making 500,000 US dollars or more. Now, most of the people in China don't have that type of money. Only people who are in bed with the CCP or who are the CCP. So why is Huntsman helping them? In fact, both Huntsman and Herbert has made statements, especially Huntsman, that they know more about the free market than we do. A government that owns everything knows more about the free market than the nation that was built on the free market. Huntsman's a traitor. Herbert's a traitor. Cox is a traitor. Greg Hughes is a traitor. And Greg Hughes is one that has a financial, is on record in the financial disclosures of sending gifts and envoys to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, as well as flying back and forth to Washington, D.C. Why? Because in the federal code, those what's called federal trade zones, and that's what they use to write this Inland Port Authority. Gain permission using the federal trade zone. But going back to this staff report for the U.S. Senate, this under the Obama administration, the FBI turned a blind eye. The State Department turned a blind eye. The Department of Sciences turned a blind eye. Every aspect behind the 1,000 Talent program that the CCP wants, every governmental agency that, including the State Department, which falls underneath President Obama, turned a blind eye to the infiltration of our government. Part of the 1,000 Talent program is also international students to our universities using a program called Confucius Institute. Yeah, I like Confucius, but the Confucius Institute is controlled and operated by the CCP. Yes, to spy on us, but also to gain our resources regarding education, to learn all that we know. Espionage. And here in the state of Utah, University of Utah, SUU, BYU, UVU, and a whole host of others have Confucius Institutes. Going back to the so-called tax reform, the biggest tax hike in Utah history, back in December, that they tried to pass. The only education dollars that they were allotting for was to fund higher ed. So basically, the tax hike, if we the people were not successful, would have funded the Inland Port, which the CCP wants, as well as the Confucius Institutes and higher educational learning. Well, not just losing our liberty, well, losing our country, because these assholes are selling us up the creek without a paddle to a foreign, communist, murderous, lying government. This is why, under my leadership, I will repeal the Inland Port. I will reinstitute the state militia, institute a state bank, and get us on good, sound fiscal path, as well as military with the state militia to defend our borders of the sovereign state of Utah to work with the United States government to protect the sovereign borders of the United States government against this foreign invasion. And one of the things we need to protect against is the virus that the CCP created, which I will go into in the next video. We need real leadership. And I am that real leadership to just not just stand up and get things done, but unite the people under the banner of liberty, the flag, the Constitution, our rights, and protect our homeland, our families, our friends. I hope this was informational. I've been talking now for 20 minutes. Please feel free to watch the Pompeo speech on the website, as well as my other videos. And I will do another video in the next few days regarding the coronavirus. As well as another video regarding caucuses on the 23rd, I believe. Once again, I hope this was informational. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. And together, let's drain the Utah swamp once and for all. Let's take back our state.